It's race week, guys. We're heading to Albert Park for the Australian Grand Prix, the 5.2 kilometres, 58 lap race with the new format that we've seen from last year. Sergio Perez holds the lap record there, 1 minute 20, 2 DRS zones down into turn 1 and down into turn 9. It's a circuit that I absolutely love. It's one of the traditional season openers. We always get excitement when you're getting here, don't you? It's almost like everything's starting all over again. But it's an early start for us guys here in the UK. A 1:30 start on Friday for practice 1, practice 2 at 5 AM. That's going to be more where we see what the circuit will be like for qualifying and race day, really. FP3 on Saturday, 1:30 start, and then qualifying is a 5 AM start for us guys here, early wake up calls. And then Sunday, a 4 AM start for the race. Last time out though, it was an absolutely crazy race, didn't we? We got 3 red flags, absolutely crazy finish, didn't we? With sort of 4 cars taken out over just that 2 lap duration at the end, wasn't it? Absolute madness. I don't think we'll get anything like that. I think it was a record a recent record of 13 DNFs in that race, especially in the new era of Formula 1 anyway, where reliability is just now amazing, isn't it? It was a Max Verstappen win in the end, Lewis Hamilton second, Alonso got that 3rd place, and Lance Stroll 4th for Aston Martin, and that was all down to the forever it took to get the timing data back and sort out the order on that one. But yeah, if we get anything like that this weekend, it'll be absolutely mega, won't it? Tyre talk now. It's going to be the softest in the range for Pirelli, the C3, C4 and the C5, the absolute softest that we get here in Australia. So when we normally get a 2-step race now, especially with this new layout, it makes it a little bit better doing the 2 stops. It was traditionally 1 stop, so we might see some go to that. Weather conditions predicted to be sunny, between 20 and 23 degrees all weekend. Rumours of some rain potentially on Saturday for practice 3, and we might see a wet start to qualifying. Who knows? I'd be surprised if it falls that way. The championship, well, it's led by Max Verstappen at the minute, 51 points ahead of Sergio Perez second, who's on 36, and Charles Leclerc leading in 3rd place, 28 points, and he's got a 10-point gap from George Russell, who's 18 points behind. My predictions for this weekend though, I'm going to go for a Charles Leclerc pole. I've kind of said it 3 times in a row. Last time out in Saudi he was nowhere near, wasn't he? But I feel like Ferrari traditionally do well around Melbourne, and I think this is one where Charles should hopefully put it on pole. It'll be Max Verstappen second and Perez third though. That's my predictions for qualifying for this weekend. In the race though, I think Max Verstappen taking the win and Sergio Perez second, Charles Leclerc third. And if Max does win, it's 10 consecutive wins again. He matches his record which he set last year, doesn't he, of 10 consecutive wins, and he looks absolutely unstoppable, to be honest with you. I can't see anybody really challenging here unless we get some really freak unique scenarios, but even when we got that last year, he still went off and win, didn't he? So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it plans out though, but that's what I've got for the race. Yeah, Verstappen winning, Perez second and Charles Leclerc in 3rd place. A good performance on the surprise performance here, I think it'll be for the Williams. Alex Albon, he did really well there last year, didn't he? He was brilliant in qualifying in the early start of the race. Shame he crashed out there. And another one for Oscar Piastri, I think he'll do well. It's his home race and fresh off a really good 4th place out last time out in Saudi Arabia, so expecting him to go well here. I'm expecting another bad performance from the Alpines. It's looking like they'll have any updates on that car yet, and they've sacked the whole technical department again, haven't they? I mean, things are going really wrong for Alpine, and they've gone down a completely different new route, haven't they, for a second time. They've gone for the McLaren route, where they've got 3 technical leads in the aero department, the engineering and the performance side, and they collectively make the decisions, and it worked for McLaren, I suppose. If you look at all the upgrades that they bought last season, every sort of one of them worked and how they expected it, and that seems like what the complete opposite of what we're getting at Alpine and also at Mercedes, in fact, aren't they? They're saying that they're having correlation problems, and that's a big one, especially when track testing is effectively non-existent, especially in season, and so therefore you really need the stuff that's coming up on the computer to actually show the same thing on track. And if you don't get that, then that's why you get the results of where Mercedes being a little bit off the pace, Alpine being miles off the pace, isn't it? Last time out on my predictions though, they did go a bit 50-50 again, weren't they? I got the Haas one right of being a surprise performance, and Nico Hülkenberg nicking a point there. I think mainly due thanks to his teammate doing a tremendous job for the team there. Again, I had Charles Leclerc on pole, and he was never in contention either, was he really? A comfortable pole for Max Verstappen. But yeah, I got the win right, Max Verstappen, no surprise there. And yeah, Alpine doing badly. That was probably, they did badly, but not as badly as I thought they would, so I'm not sure I can take the credit for that one. Comfortably the worst performers there were the Kick Sauber team, weren't they, last time out, but it wasn't great for Alpine either, to be fair with, and they've sort of kicked off and got rid of a couple of technical guys after the back of it, so mixed predictions again. Hopefully it will be better this time out. In other news though, there's no news on Carlos Sainz just yet, is there, to confirm that he will definitely return for the Australian Grand Prix. The door is still open potentially for Ollie Behrman. We know that when Alex Albon had a pretty much similar operation, that he did race when there was a 2-week gap, so you know there is potential for Sainz to be back. We've had no confirmation yet though. And Ollie Behrman's rightly so got a lot of hype, hasn't he? We've seen Gunther Steiner say he'd have put him in the Haas team if it was for him still there, and so and a lot of another number of big guys in Formula 1 saying, look, he put in a tremendous performance, especially with just one practice, and race. It was, yeah, absolutely brilliant to see from him. So yeah, let's see if he does get that seat back in there again. Carlos Sainz though, with his limited number of races, I'm sure he'd be eager to get back in there, show what he can do, because it's a big season for him also, and he really can't afford to be losing any race time where he can just sort of put himself in the shop window, isn't it, effectively. The big one also is Massa has started his lawsuit against the FIA and the FOM for 82 million, hasn't he? He sort of said he feels the Crashgate, all of that scenario meant he should have been the 2008 World Championship. He lost out on the prize money, and then also the sponsorship deals that makes up the 82 million he's claiming for. That's now started, so let's see how that pans out, and it'd be really interesting to see if that does, because I know we're going to, sounds a bit like harping on about 21 again, because potentially just could open the window for that, where the FIA made a really horrific decision there, didn't they, and all the aftermath that came about after that. So depending on how this goes, we might see action taking place there again. I mean, who knows. And the other big thing is the news of potentially Max Verstappen joining Mercedes. Now, he did say recently in an interview just before or around Saudi, was saying you just never say never, and when you kind of make them statements, it just sort of adds more doubt, doesn't it? It doesn't make the drama really go away. He's just adding fuel to the fire. I don't think he'll go anywhere though. The car is comfortably miles ahead of everybody else. I don't see anybody catching them up next season, and why would he leave to a Mercedes team that just seem off the pace and out of it? I think they're using it more of the political game that's going on within the Red Bull. There's obviously a massive power struggle going on there with sadly, after Matchsitz passed away, it just seems that there's a lot of up in the air, isn't there? Helmut Marko and Horner seem to be having a bit of a rift between the pair of them, and yeah, Max Verstappen is taking the side of Helmut, hasn't he? Quite clearly with his comments of how massively he backs him, and he'll effectively leave if he leaves. So yeah, it's interesting to see how that will play out and pan out, and it's interesting to see how all this really leaves Christian Horner, doesn't it? I know he's still there, he'll still say he's got the backing of the team, but I think deep down inside it'll sort of sow some seeds of, you know, discontent, won't it, even with him, but he's hold on for now, and yeah, more on that whenever that comes to an end anyway. But yeah, Australia, not long to go. Can't wait for the action to get started. Early morning starts for us guys here in the UK, so watch out for the, you know, early qualifying review and the race reviews. But yeah, thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe and comment as always. I'll see you next time.